What is up, everyone? I'm coming on here for a couple of plays for the weekend. We have a ton of great games going into tomorrow, college football Saturday, and then we also have a lot of NFL games. In today's video, I'm going to give you guys 3 4-mans, okay? So leave a like for that. I'm giving you guys 3 more plays in today's video. Just felt generous and really loved the plays and love I love the matchups. I love the matchups this weekend. We have some huge games. We have some huge, should be high-scoring games as well in the Big 12, and then we have some big matchups in the SEC also. So I will get into that. Just first, I did want to show you guys, we hit this one on Wednesday on this very YouTube channel. And then this is what we did last Saturday. So last college football Saturday, we actually hit 4 4-mans. 3 of these right here, these 3 were on the VIP that I do have. And then this was a free play from last Friday's video. So I sent it out like last Friday at midnight. I'm trying to get it out earlier today so more of you guys can watch it and tail them. But I did send this out last Friday on a YouTube play, and we went ahead and we hit this Jackson Dart, Caden Lee right here on Ole Miss, and then we had a Florida duo right here. And this is what we do. We do correlation, okay? So if I can make this a little bit bigger, we are going to, I'll talk about this in today's video, but we are going to take either quarterback receiver duos to go over together or quarterback receiver duos to go under together, okay? That is what correlation is, and that is how I am so profitable over time. If you guys don't know, I am up 356 units over the past about 6 months, okay? So that is right around like 70 to 80 units every single month that we've been able to go up from these YouTube plays, as well as on my VIP, where I send out a lot more plays to you guys. And if you are interested in what I'm talking about in today's video, the best way to get my VIP, you can get it completely free, is to sign up for Bet Online. And all you have to do is text me the word bet, and I will give you guys the instructions on what to do and how to sign up for Bet Online. You just text me the word and I will give you guys the instructions. It should be like 3 or 4 steps to do that. It should take like 5 minutes. And what I will have you do is sign up for Bet Online, take a $20 entry. So you're going to have to put $20 into the app and then take a $20 entry. And I'm going to Venmo or Cash App you back the $20. So again, it's like I'm paying you back to do this. It's like if I tell you guys to buy something for me and I'm like, I'll pay you back to do that, right? That is exactly what you're doing. And for doing that for me, I'm going to give you guys 2 months of my VIP for that. It helps you out. It helps me out. You guys get the VIP. You guys get some money into Bet Online, which I do use sometimes for more straight bets on the VIP, as well as getting 2 free months of my VIP. Again, this is where we go up like 70 to 80 units every single month. And so you should expect to go up like 100 units at least in this time frame on the 2 months of the VIP. All right, so let's hop into PrizePicks. Let's talk about what I'm liking, what I'm disliking, the overs, the unders. Like I said, we're going to pair up quarterbacks and receivers together. So first play is going to be, it's actually right here for me. We're going to go Shadur Sanders and we're going to go Travis Hunter over together, okay? This Colorado Tech game should be one of this matchup. If you could write any matchup that's going to be a better shootout, it's probably either going to involve Colorado, Texas Tech, or TCU, okay? Those 3 teams pass so much, and Texas Tech and Texas Tech and TCU played about 2 weeks ago, and both these quarterbacks just flew over, okay? I'm expecting the same thing with Colorado. Tech is coming off of a game where they just beat Iowa State, so they're a really solid team, and Colorado is also a very solid team. The odds in this game are pretty much even, okay? We have Colorado favored a little bit, but this should be a shootout up until the very end, last possession wins type game, as well as could potentially go into overtime, okay? Which Colorado is so good when it potentially goes into overtime or it's just a close game. The past games that Colorado has versus the Wildcats, as well as Cincinnati. I'm actually not sure about Cincinnati, but I know versus the Wildcats, they blew the Wildcats out. They didn't have to pass at the end of the game. And when Colorado has to pass at the end of the game, that is when they shine. Okay, Travis Hunter, obviously one of the best receivers in college football, best players in college football. And he's been injured these past couple games. These 2 games down here, he was injured. But now he's back. You see him 153 yards in the last game. All right, so then what we are going to pair him with is we're going to pair him with Nico I to go under. You guys know I love this combo to go under, as well as Brew McCoy. So I will say, and I said this last Friday also, I'm really not recreating the wheel. Like, there's so many good matchups that there's no reason to recreate the wheel. So I said this last weekend, but the thing about Tennessee is what they do is they get ahead in a game, and then when they get ahead in that game, they just run the ball and they completely stop passing, okay? Which is perfect. That is exactly what we want to see with the unders. We want a team to get up early, and then once they're up, they run the ball out, they run the clock out, and then the game ends, okay? That is exactly what Tennessee Tennessee does if you guys watch Tennessee. Now, last game when they played Kentucky, it was a back and forth battle. They played Kentucky, it was back and forth. Nico I had to come in, they had to pass a little bit. I don't see the same thing with Mississippi State, okay? I think they are going to dominate Mississippi State probably in the first, second quarter. It might even look like Nico I is going to go over. Maybe he gets like 150 yards or something like that, and we might be a little bit like, oh, wow, why did we take the unders? But I guarantee you they start running the ball, and they just run the ball like 30 to 35 times once they start leading. The one thing that I did say about Tennessee is they have three guys. They have Squirrel White, they have Chris Brazil right here, and then they have Brew McCoy. Now, I actually think Brew McCoy is probably the worst out of these three, and his line is the highest. So that's why I'm taking him under. He's just shined in the past 2 games, but I do think Squirrel White is the best of this duo. So I think Squirrel White or even Chris Brazil has the chance to go over this, but Brew McCoy should go under. So the thing I'm trying to get across is Tennessee, they always pick one guy, and that one guy may go over, but all these receivers are kind of similar. So I said that in last video, and it's the same thing here. Like nothing has changed. So this is the first play of the day. Shadur, Travis Hunter, and then we got Nico I, and we got Brew McCoy to go under right here. So make sure you hit over, and then under on this play. The one thing that sucks is they changed this from an 8.5x to an 8x, okay? So it sucks when trying to pair quarterback receivers up in a 4-man. That's why I normally try to put like Counter-Strike or Valorant in there too, so it makes it a 9x. But in today's video, in the sake of today's video, I'm just gonna take the 8x, and actually the last pick, the third pick today, it's going to be a 9x. Okay, so I'm gonna show you guys a way how to kind of get around it a little bit. Okay, so first play is right there. Second play, let's go ahead and hop into that once this loads. There we go. So second play is then going to go to this LSU game. Okay, so LSU. I think LSU is one of the best people, the best teams to take over, okay? Because LSU, Ole Miss, maybe Colorado, maybe TCU, but really LSU and Ole Miss, they live and die by the pass, okay? They live and die by the pass. We took them over last week. They smashed their projections last week. Where did he go? Anyway, if I look at this here, they smashed their projections last week. They had 405 pass yards. Now, last week versus the Aggies, I told you guys, they live and die by the pass. In the first half, they crushed it. They could pass all over the field. I think he hit this in the first half alone. And then in the second half, they again lived and died by the pass, and they needed to they just kept passing. They kept passing. They didn't run the ball out. And then they started losing that game versus the Aggies. But this team does not know what to do if they can't pass the ball. So they're going to have to pass the ball versus Bama. And again, it's Alabama, so they're likely going to have to, Bama is likely going to be ahead in this game because it's Alabama, right? So LSU is going to be playing from behind. That means passing the ball a lot. Now, his number one receiver, NFL talent, Kyron Lacey, I do like him to go over. I think he's the most consistent. You could also take Aaron Anderson. I just think with Aaron Anderson, he's more boom or bust, okay? I know it looks like a lot more green here, but what happens with Aaron Anderson is he actually gets a lot less receptions. You can see he only has like 3 receptions in all of these. So you're kind of banking on him to get like a 60-yard pass catch, okay? With Lacey, he's a lot more of that guy who they're going to go to with like 20 to 30 yards and just consistently kind of pass to Lacey, especially at the end of the game. Lacey will always come through at the end of the game. All right, and then the duo that I'm taking here, again, I'm taking the overs. The duo that I'm taking with them is to go Will Howard under, and then Mbuka to go under as well. So his number 2 receiver, technically. They're kind of the same. They're like 1A and 1B. But we have Mbuka, and then we have Jeremiah Smith, right? Jeremiah Smith, I'm going to stay away from him. I think his line should be a little bit higher than this, to be honest. And I'm going to go right here and take Mbuka's under right here. OSU, everything that I said about Tennessee, the exact same thing applies. Even more so because I think OSU is going to get even more ahead in this game and even earlier, okay? So when OSU... These teams like Tennessee, OSU, they're so well-rounded. They're like an NFL team. So when they start winning the game, they don't have to live and die by the pass like an LSU does. They can just run the ball out, they have 2 like NFL caliber running backs as well. Like everyone on their offense pretty much NFL caliber. And they just run the ball out, run the ball 20, 25 times, 30 times, and they just win the game, right? That has happened so many times with Will Howard when I take his over. And normally his line is about 250. Okay, so normally his line's about 250, and I still would like to take him under there. So now that his line is 274, I'm definitely going to take his under, because what happens a lot of times is he gets around that 220 range and he just completely stops passing. He might have one big pass a game to like a Jeremiah Smith, but then after that, once they go up by about 21, 24 to 28 points, they just completely stop passing. So that is what happens with these teams, right? LSU, they're the complete opposite. They're going to keep throwing. So LSU going to take the overs. OSU, these two players, Will Howard and Mbuka, going to take the unders. And just to be honest with you guys, like these lines are pretty similar. Nussmeier and then Will Howard, like, I mean, they're like 15 yards off. These teams cannot be any different. Like LSU is such a different team than OSU, and they're probably going to throw like 15 times more than Ohio State is. So 15 passes is such a big deal when getting these pass yards. Like, this is crazy that these lines are anywhere close to being the same because these teams just have completely different aspects of how they run their game, okay? So this is the second play. Again, Nussmeier, Lacey, Will Howard, and Mbuka. Gonna put 10 on this. Unfortunately, 8x, but what can we do? PrizePicks keeps kind of like payout shifting these things down, right? All right, so this next play, it's going to be a 9x, and I'm going to use college football, and then I'm also going to go over to the NFL and use a pair from the NFL, okay? So what we're going to do, again, I love these games going on. Like, there's so many good games. Miami, Cam Ward, you kind of just want to take his over every single game because he's that good. And what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to take his fantasy score. So you can take his pass yards if you want. I just like his fantasy score because Cam Ward, he's going to do well in this game, okay? He's also a touchdown machine. If you can see here, he's thrown like 5 touchdowns, 4 touchdowns. He gets rushing touchdowns sometimes. He gets rush yards. He is the Miami offense. He is this offense right here. So Cam Ward, I do like his fantasy score a little bit more than his pass yards, but you can take his pass yards if you want. I'm just taking his fantasy score. And the thing about Miami that's so good is, yes, they live and die by the pass too, like LSU, but their defense is not very good. So they get into these games where it's kind of shootouts. It's like when they played Duke last week, they were actually losing to Duke. After halftime, they were losing to Duke. And Cam Ward, he has to keep his team afloat. I'd like to know like where Miami would rank if Cam Ward was like not a player. Like if they didn't have Cam Ward, where would they be, right? I think they would maybe be like in the top 25 to 20 range, right? I don't think they would be in the top. Are they 5 right now? I don't even know. I think they're like 5 or 6 right now. I do not think they would be anywhere close to top 5 if they didn't have Cam Ward because their defense is not very good. Now, obviously, we're going to take him with his number 1 guy, Xavier Restrepo. This guy's a monster. He's a possession receiver. He's kind of like he's like a slot receiver. He's kind of like a Julian Edelman or something like that, where he just gets a lot of catches. He breaks one out for like 30, 40 yards, sometimes 70 yards. And he's Cam Ward's right-hand man, right? Like if Cam Ward is going to have a good game, Xavier Restrepo is also going to have a good game. So very correlated, right? That's the main thing I want to get across in this video. These things are very correlated together. If Cam Ward, if he comes out, throws for 350 yards, which like it's Cam Ward, right? He's like a Heisman favorite. Then Xavier Restrepo is going to get 100 of those yards, like very easily. It happens pretty much every week. All right, so then we're going to go to the NFL, and we're actually going to take unders right here. So we're going to go Daniel Jones under, and then we're going to take actually his running back, Tyrone Tracy, to go under as well. So we got Daniel Jones, Tracy to go under. By putting a running back here instead of a receiver, so let's just take Neighbors under, it changes it from an 8x to a 9x, okay? So because we take the running back under, we're going to do that. Now, if you want to take Neighbors under, you can do that as well. I just think this game, Giants versus Panthers, it's in Germany. I think we have all seen those early games, those London games, those German games, the Mexico game, whatever it is, right? Whenever they go off into a different time zone, whenever they go off to a different country, these games are always horrible, okay? Not to mention, it's Giants versus Panthers. It's going to be a horrible game. I think we can all agree on that. I don't think there's going to be much scoring. I think it's going to take a while for these teams to even get going. And I think the Giants, they're going to get up probably from running, and they're just going to win the game. I think they're going to beat the Panthers, but I don't think it's going to be because of Daniel Jones throwing for 300 yards and having like a career day in Germany, right? I think it's going to be him. It's just going to be a sloppy game, right? They're playing in Germany for the first time ever. The crowd's not going to be hype. It's just not going to be good. It's not going to be good. We've seen it so many times with these morning games. So we're going to take Daniel Jones, and then this is definitely a little bit risky because he only needs 12 yards, right? So he could definitely get one catch for 12 yards, and we would lose this injury. But there are so many times where this guy gets 3 receptions, 2 receptions, and he only gets 9 yards, 5 yards, and stuff like that. He is one of those running backs that only likes running the ball, and even when he does get a catch, he gets like 2 or 3 yards max. So you could definitely take this. You could also, just giving you guys options, you could take this. You could also take his under longest reception if you want to, because you can see some of these games here, like I think it was versus Philly. Was it versus Philly? Yeah, this game versus Philly where he got 9 yards. I'm pretty sure this game, Philly right here, he had 3 receptions for only 9 yards. So that means each reception he was only gonna get he was averaging 3 yards. Okay, so when he gets a reception, he only gets like 2 or 3 yards from those receptions. This game right here, this Cincinnati game, you can see he actually just got one big reception for. Oh no, he got a reception for 14 yards. So maybe that was a bit of an outlier actually. But anyway, I do like Tracy under. I like Daniel Jones under. Again, I think this game should just be really bad. I think the Giants are still going to win, but honestly, with the unders, it's good when a team wins because that means they're going to run the ball out a lot more. All right, so we got Cam Ward, Restrepo, Daniel Jones, and Tyron Tracy. That's going to be our last play of the day. All right, 3 plays today, you guys. You guys can go back and look at it. I can't show it in the lineup just because PrizePicks' update's really bad. But anyway, you guys, thank you so much for watching. Let's have a great day, a great weekend. If you missed today's video earlier, definitely go ahead and watch that. Yeah, expect a video from me maybe tomorrow. I might be a little bit late on the video, so should have a video, but if I don't, we'll be good. We'll be having a lot of plays going into the weekend. So again, thank you guys for watching. Text me the word bet if you're interested in getting into my VIP. Thank you for all the support, all the comments. I've already got so many great comments on the last video I posted this morning. And yeah, you guys, let's have a good Friday. Let's have a good Saturday of college football. I'm really excited about it, and I'll see you tomorrow.